USA Today article confirms that many international flights have suspended ticket sales in Venezuela. Plus, in our lifestyle segment, we'll reveal to you the jobs with the highest and lowest obesity risk. And the central theme on Batico Day focused on the liberator as a man rather than as a politician. 15 on 15 starts right now. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Air Canada has become one of the world's biggest international airlines to stop providing flights to Venezuela. This is due to the same problem Aruba's Tiara Air airline was dealing with. The Latin American country is delaying exchanging the currency to US dollars. A USA Today article hones in on how airlines are cutting off Venezuelans from tickets. Air Canada on Friday joined a growing list of international airlines suspending ticket sales in Venezuela over the country's refusal to exchange billions of bolivars for US dollars. This is the same issue that Aruba's Tiara airline was struggling with. Spain's Air Europa was the first airline to suspend sales this month and has been followed by a number of other carriers. Ecuador's TAME airline also suspended all flights to Venezuela because of the currency issue. International airlines say they are owed up to $2.6 billion of bolivars they received as payments for flights that by contract are supposed to be exchanged for US dollars by Venezuela. Many airlines have waited months for their dollars. USA Today says given the delay, airlines are reluctant to accept more business from Venezuelans. It is likely Venezuela is avoiding the exchange in a bid to protect its dwindling international reserves and free up money needed for imports. Moving forward, in other local news, Saturday was Batico Day, a holiday widely celebrated on the island. During the protocol portion of the ceremony at Plaza Batico on January 25th, ministers as well as family members of Batico spoke. One of the most memorable and moving moments of the ceremony came from Batico Cruz's youngest daughter, Glendaline. Here's why. During Glendaline Cruz's speech, she says although she's proud of being Batico's daughter, there were at times downfalls. Batico was a father of 4 children, but also the authoritative figure for a whole island. Therefore, he was a busy man who couldn't always dedicate himself entirely to his children. But when his kids called upon him or needed him, he was always there.
Well, I was telling someone not too long ago, I was giving another interview and I was telling them that there was a time that he got so busy that I wouldn't see him at home because every time I would go to bed, he hadn't arrived yet. And by the time I wake up to go to school, he was already gone. So one day I called my mother and said, I want to see my dad because I hadn't seen him in a couple of days. And then he arrived at school and the teacher said, look, there's Batico. And all the children ran on the playground and, it became a whole event at school with all the children surrounding him. And it was a special day at school.
Speaking of patriotic Aruban holidays, youths can now get involved through filmmaking to learn about their island's culture and traditions. Award-winning filmmaker Francisco Pardo, together with UNOCA, is launching a special workshop allowing teenagers and young adults to experience being behind the camera and interviewing important cultural figures. 1 month prior to an important holiday, for instance, Flag and Anthem Day, the students will participate in a series of workshops on Saturday mornings. A unique aspect of this workshop is the location.
We choose San Nicolas because mainly those workshops and projects for kids and teens are mainly done in Oranjestad, and sometimes it's difficult for the children from San Nicolas to come to Oranjestad, and so we choose to bring it to them. So I think this time those kids from San Nicolas can participate and it's completely for free.
Go to www.bibacultura.com to register for the workshops. When we come back, we have a fun lifestyle segment prepared for you. We'll start with the jobs that has the lowest and highest obesity risk. Then we'll move into why men typically forget important anniversary dates. And in this day and age, if you are single, it is tough to figure out whether you are on a real date or if it's just a casual hangout. All of that and much more coming up, so stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Now, we all know our jobs can affect our weight. Having the wrong one is associated with a more than doubled risk of obesity. Here is a list of jobs with the highest obesity risk, followed by a list with the lowest. Coming in at number 5 as the job with the highest obesity risk are those in health services. Close to 30% of those in the cleaning or building business comes in next. Protective services takes up the third spot with 33.3% of employees in this industry being obese. If you are in transportation or material moving, there's a good 37.9% that you are obese. And truck drivers come in at number 1 as the job with the highest obesity risk at 38.6%. Moving on to jobs with the lowest obesity risk. At number 5 are professionals, any types of professionals. Number 4 are those treating or assessing health. Number 3 are post-secondary teachers. Coming in second are natural and social scientists. The number 1 job with the lowest obesity risk are health physicians who diagnose. Judging from the two lists, mobility and education seems to be the two main factors in people becoming obese due to their profession. And here's some good news for women if their man forgets about their anniversary. Reason being, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. He forgets these important dates simply because he is a man. A new report says apparently gender plays a role when it comes to memory. Researchers surveyed more than 370,000 people over the age of 30 about their self-reported memory problems. In general, more men reported issues in 8 out of 10 areas like remembering something that happened a year ago. So, recalling details of a conversation and remembering names and even dates are out. Unfortunately, the study did not find out why men might be more prone to forgetfulness. Speaking of relationships and romance, believe it or not, single people nowadays have trouble figuring out whether they are even on a date. In this day and age, it's hard to tell, and I know those of you who have received a text saying, "I'm at this bar, come join me," knows exactly what I'm talking about. So let's say you are meeting up with your crush, finally, but wait, are you on a date or is this just a casual hangout? A new U.S. study finds 69% of singles are at least sometimes confused about whether or not they're actually on a date. Surprisingly, men are slightly more confused than women when it comes to date night, and singles between the ages of 18 to 24 are the worst at figuring out what actually constitutes as a date. 80% of singles say a planned one-on-one hangout is considered a date, while 24% said a planned night out with friends also counts. Another 22% of people say as long as they were asked to go out, it is a date. So go figure. On that note, we'll be right back. When we come back, we celebrate Batiko Day. This year marks over 2 decades of anniversary being celebrated for Batiko Day. Batiko would have been 76 years old on Saturday. To commemorate the liberator's legacy, a protocol ceremony was well attended by family members, political members, and the general public to remember the individual who achieved independence for Aruba. This year, the event focused on Batiko as more of a man who wore different hats rather than what he did in the political world. Political members from all parties, together with the general public of Aruba, gathered at Plaza Batiko on Saturday. Celebrations for the holiday started with the protocol ceremony, in which Anmar Odeber addressed the crowd with a speech. His message brought forth on that particular day goes beyond Batiko's role as the liberator, but his overall impact on Aruba.
Well, today we celebrated for the 22nd time officially that we commemorate the birth of Mr. Betico Cruz. Today he would have been 76 years old if he was alive, and I geared my speech actually to more who Betico was, not as a politician, but more as the father of his family. The father who dedicated a lot, not only to his child and to his wife in this case, but more to the culture of Aruba, to sports in Aruba, and of course to the social part of Aruba.
The central theme of the speeches on Saturday centered around Betico as being much more than just a politician. Rather, his role as a family man and as an individual was emphasized.
I tried to manage to give a message actually that the politician is not only a politician, it's not only there to have a position as a politician, but also he's part of a family. So the respect towards one each other, the respect for the child of a politician. Today we are sitting all together, no matter what party, no matter what color we are representing, with the children, the grandchildren of Mr. Betico Cruz together. And I think this is the ambience that we would like, this is the ambience that he would have liked for us to be celebrating today, his birthday. And that was the core of the message today to the Arubian people.
Glendaline Cruz is Betico's youngest daughter. She too wanted people to know on her Father's Day that Betico should be recognized beyond his title as the Liberator.
Well, today my speech I concentrated on him as a person, not only as a politician and the one who got a status aparte for Aruba, but also the person, the husband, the son, and the father not only of 4 kids, but of a whole country.
As the daughter of Betico, Glendaline truly felt the positive vibes and ambiance on this particular day.
Every year you come and you wonder if it's going to be any different than the former years, than the preceding years. And I have to say that especially this year, we were very happy to see how the current minister decided to celebrate this day, because you feel that it's a national holiday. You feel proud as not only as a daughter, but also as an Aruban citizen to be celebrating this national holiday, which is such an important day.
That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back here with a brand new edition of the show starting Tuesday night at 7:15 p.m. right here on Channel 15 ATV. So we'll see you then.